The guy I worked for said, "You want to know how to be a billionaire?" He goes, "Figure out how to get millennials to work."
I'll tell you.
He said he just had a meeting with his accountant, and they were talking about it because his accountant's kids are spoiled rotten and whatever.
Yeah.
And he said the accountant can see exactly what year the shit started to change as far as incomes and whatnot.
Yeah.
And addresses, living at the parents' house and so forth.
Yeah.
But I told dude, because he is an employer, I says, well, you know what the problem is? The inflation has far surpassed incomes.
Yeah.
And they've just lost any ambition toward working hard.
Right.
Because they don't see light at the end of the tunnel. I said, these are kids that don't even have kids and still can't make it.
Yeah.
So they said, I heard on the radio, I don't know how true this is this morning because I try to listen to shit to bring on to my radio show. They said half of the millennials, okay, will get homes compared to the generation before them will purchase a home.
Yeah.
50%. 50% of the millennials will purchase a home in comparison to Generation X. And Generation X got fucked.
Yeah.
So they're probably 25% behind the baby boomers.
The baby boomers fucked it for everybody.
So now it's like really the number's probably 75% under the baby boomers home purchasing. Yeah. And we're not talking about a 3,000 square foot house with a fucking 3-car garage. We're talking any home, any shitbag fucking 1-bedroom condo they can't even afford.
Yeah.
So it's completely different. They're not even buying shitbag 1-bedrooms.
Right.
That's bullshit is what it is.
It's because the baby boomers hogged all the money.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait till every single baby boomer croaks. They're all a bunch of selfish fucking assholes. Every single one of them. I can't stand that generation. That's the worst generation we ever put forth, I swear to God. They were the worst. They were the worst. They were the hippies. They were the hippies that bought the gas guzzlers. You know, they did everything. They polluted the world. They sold their houses for 10 times more than they bought them for. It's like, I mean, really, you got to rake everybody over the coals? You're just a bunch of lowlifes. It's because they were spoiled by the generation, the greatest generation that ever lived, spoiled those kids so bad.
Well,
that's what happened.
It's never going to recover like that.
Oh, no, it won't. No, it won't. Not until every one of them baby boomers croaks. That's the only hope we got. So that'll happen, though. I can't imagine when that happens. It'll be like it's party time.
So you're using the old microphone?
Oh, I went back to like my original one because it's analog. You know, there's nothing that sounds as good as like real old analog. You know, it's not even digital at all. Well, everything's digital to a certain degree, but I'm saying the input's analog. So I'm returning that other thing, and I'm just going with regular old analog. I'm not even going to digitize my analog input. I'm just going to go analog right in. I tell you, I think that's the best thing to do. I was watching the show the other day where they were showing like India and stuff. I mean, these people are so overpopulated. And their rivers are just garbage just floating down the river. And kids are swimming in it like it's nothing. They're just used to that. I mean, they were born into that. They just think that's normal. This whole village of people didn't even have a bathroom. The women were going out in a field at night and going to the bathroom. And they were holding it all day. The whole village didn't even have a bathroom. And the men didn't even give a shit. It's like they were just... It's like you think someone could just dig a big hole and make an outhouse. It's like... God, what is with these people? And, you know, and these people... This chick who was over there, she spent 2 weeks over there. She's like, next time you're in your bathroom sitting on the toilet by yourself, you know, you got to remember how lucky you are to be in the modern world. You know,
to be shitting and drinking water.
To be shitting in water that's cleaner than their fucking children are drinking.
You'd be better off drinking out of your toilet, probably.
Oh, I guarantee it. If we looked in our toilet and we saw that the water was brown, we'd be all upset. We'd be like calling the plumber. Dude, the water in the toilet's fucking brown. We're calling the fucking plumber and complaining. We're a sick bunch of bastards, man. I tell you. We have no idea that most of the world is just poor and miserable. And then we're complaining. So I can't complain anymore. I'm done complaining about shit after I saw that. I tell you.
The dude I'm working for, he's got this Mexican that works for him, and he pays like $14.50 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. The dude don't make shit. And he goes, this guy comes and goes whenever he wants. He works when he feels like. He's like, I wonder how he pays his bills. And I told him, it's not public aid, man.
Yeah.
He's spending money.
Yeah, he don't pay for that. They have the system down.
He makes $13 an hour. There's no fucking way he could afford a $1,400 a month apartment. There's no way.
It don't even add up.
They gave it to him. Yeah. They gave it to him. So all his money is spending money, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
So when he cries the blues that he don't make enough fucking money, I don't feel sorry for that dude one bit. You make $13 an hour cash, and you have no bills.
It's kind of like my daughter. My daughter has no bills and gets to keep all her money.
Yeah, but you're paying for that.
Nobody ever foot the bill for me, though.
You're not asking the state to flip her bill. You chose to flip her bill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Big difference.
But I'm thinking maybe she should go on public aid.
She won't qualify. She makes too much. Well, they will.
Is that
They'll
it?
put her on Section 8 because she say she's abused.
Yeah, that's what I got to do.
That's how that works. You just got to punch her right in the nose, and then she
give her a black eye.
And then if they tell you, they're like, well, you're going to go to jail. Say, well, hey, when you reach my age, jail doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah, 3 squares in a bed.
Because I don't have that much time to give anyway.
Yeah, I'm done.
Be careful when you threaten an old fart with jail. He might just take you up on that.
Yeah, I've already outlived my usefulness. I'm past my usefulness.
I'm gonna go into jail and start a revolution. Sent the wrong
dude.
Get
some tats, man.
Start a whole fucking revolution.
Yeah. Huh. We had to do a show. Remember we were doing a show on gerrymandering?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gerrymandering is when some lazy asshole cheaters redraw the district so they can keep the district either more Republican or more Democrat. It don't matter which one. It's not. They're lazy bastards on both ends doing it. Or assholes. I don't know what to call them. It's like, and the name came from the first district they kind of did this in was in the shape of a salamander. And the guy's name was Jerry. It was his last name. So I think that they should be allowed to redraw districts, but they shouldn't take effect for like 20 years. It's like, that should be the rule. I mean, there should be ways to redraw them, but the effects shouldn't be immediate. They should be 20 years in the future, just so nobody nowadays gets any benefit from it.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to fight the gerrymandering in Colorado and in, I think, Utah or somewhere.
Yeah, well, it's everywhere. You look up the top 10. Listen, the top 10 are not even in either of those states probably. They're probably all on the East Coast. It's just probably affecting him in some ways. Why?
Yeah.
You know, if Republicans were doing it in his area that he's worried about, it wouldn't bother him. But because Democrats are doing it now, he's all upset about it probably. Trust me, he's got some motivation that has nothing to do with helping people.
I'm sure it is, because it's a Democratic thing here that's a problem.
Yeah. If it wasn't, and out east, it's a Republican thing, or in the South, it's like you should see some of the shapes of these districts in the South. In Texas, you should see them. They're like There's like a little thin line that goes all the way down the river, you know, where all the people have money down the river, living right on the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little thin thing that runs all the way down those rich people's, but everybody else is a Democrat, you know. It's like, it's a way they've scammed the system. He don't care about it affecting, if it were Republicans doing it, he'd be as quiet as a mouse.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, so trust me, it should be illegal for everybody to do. And the effect shouldn't take place for 25 years. That's how you fix it. And then people will have no motivation to do it because it won't affect them directly.
There's a lot more to these elections than people know. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Waste of time and money, man. Need to fucking... They should do it like American Idol. Vote on TV right now for Donald Trump. Fucking push 007.
We're not being ruled by the democracy anymore. The democracy's gone. What we're being ruled by now is political parties, which should be illegal. Political parties, they didn't write political parties into the Constitution. That wasn't part of the laws. That's something we created to rule people illegally.
If everyone voted on TV, they can't say that these people that can't get to the voting thing or don't have an ID or whatever. They all have Obama phones. You get one vote per phone number.
Yeah, everybody's got a phone. Just vote through your phone. It's all MAC addresses too. Everybody has an individual MAC address on their phone. It's not like you can cheat.
Yeah, it would be even more accurate probably because all the people that aren't supposed to vote are probably nowhere near the number of people that voted more than one time illegally. So let's just do it that way and say, fuck it.
It's just an app on your phone.
We'll even let the illegals vote. Anyone who has a phone in America, and you could tell that it's in America by where it's pinging off of what cell tower. It's not in America, then it shouldn't go through. And that counts. And then we're done with it.
Yeah, that seems fair to me.
All these illegal. Hey,
and get rid of political parties. They should be illegal. Political parties aren't in the Constitution.
Done in English. If you can't figure out how to do it in English, you can't vote. That's not English. It's not going to be in 10 languages. It's going to be in English.
Wow.
You either figure out how to do it in English, or you can't fucking vote.
No, it's only in a Native American. It's in Apache. The only real Americans.
Right. You wake up a bunch of old farts that know you're trying to fucking pay them to teach you how to vote.
Oh, God, we suck. Anybody in a political party's a dick. That's how I see it. Anybody who's in one. I'm not in either one. I would never be in one. They're all scumbags.
What about the Tea Party?
Yeah.
The tea baggers.
I'm in the party. That's the party I'm in.
See, the problem is if you could get no one to vote, it'd be great. But there's poor people and rich people that are going to vote one way or the other. But the middle of the road is pretty much indecisive. So
yeah, that's true.
If you let all the middle class people decide if we're voting anymore and we just scratch the whole thing and even rich people and poor people weren't allowed to vote, we could get rid of this whole fucking thing.
Yeah. The problem is that people in the middle can't make up their mind.
For Democrats. The poor people will always vote for Democrats.
That's not true.
Wow.
Because there's so many poor rednecks down there voting for Republicans who don't know any better. They think that they're doing it for the guns. They think that the Republicans care about that.
The poor minorities will always vote Democratic, even though the Democrats never do a fucking thing for them every time they promise to and don't. And the poor rednecks.
Yeah, I think they do. I think they do things for them. I think you're wrong about that.
The poor rednecks that vote Republican only do it because they don't want minorities to get anything.
Is that what it is?
They don't give a fuck if they get anything, as long as the Democrats ain't hanging shit out to the fucking poor minorities because they're so fucking racist, those rednecks.
They need to get rid of political parties. They should be illegal.
They should get rid. Here's what they need to do.
Altogether, we don't even need them.
We need to change the race to be neutral. there is no race.
Yeah.
There's black, there's no white. We're all just equal, and we'll just start there. At first, it's going to be hard because there's going to be people that say, "Oh, I ain't going with that." Well, you're going to die, and then you're going to go away, and then the new generation of people that don't give a fuck.
I saw this chick on Jimmy Fallon last night. This black chick. She's like, she started this new thing where she's trying to get more black people to become psychiatrists. Because she was trying to find a psychiatrist, and all she could find in her area was these white psychiatrists. And she goes, I didn't want to look across the thing and see someone white being my psychiatrist. How racist is that? It's like, can you imagine if I said that? I don't want some black psychiatrist. What's if I said that? It's like, but they can get away with saying that shit all day long. It's bullshit.
But there's way more Indian doctors, even than white people lately, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not just dissing the black people. I'm dissing whoever doesn't try to take up. I mean, the Indians are taking over doctrine.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're good at it too. I'm not saying they're subpar. They're probably better than a lot of the people. Because I had a white chick doctor my whole life, and they switched my insurance, and this nasty smelling big Indian dude with a turbine, he noticed my son had crooked legs, and my pediatrician, since this kid was born, never noticed it.
Yeah.
So one day, dude noticed. So sure, he didn't look
well,
like.
I had an Oriental woman.
He didn't look as good as my pediatrician, but he was better at his job.
Yeah.
He was scary looking. I'm surprised he was a pediatrician. He scared the fuck out of me. I bet he scares a lot of kids with that turban and his beard and the smell. Those three things.
Yeah, it's a weird combination. It's just, in my opinion, if you can't stick the word white in what you're saying, then you shouldn't be saying it. If you're saying, oh, I don't want a white, I only want a black psychiatrist, if you can't say, oh, I only want a white psychiatrist, then you shouldn't be saying it. Otherwise, you're a racist, is what you are.
He's toured the world, right? He's just loved to travel. I mean, this guy's been everywhere. And he said, we were talking about India, and he says, you know what's amazing about India? He goes, I can't remember exactly how he said it. How do they judge if somebody smells?
Imagine if you're in India and you smell. I mean, you must really smell. Some Indian dude's like, man, that dude smells.
He's been there. He goes, man, they all stink bad.
Oh, I just saw a show on it where this lady from England spent 2 weeks there, and she wore this thing over her mouth, and it was offending everybody. She had to take this thing. Yeah, she couldn't even walk down the street. She had this bandana over, and everybody was getting so upset with her. She had to take it down just to avoid the offense it was causing.
So now we know, because not everyone tells the truth. Now we know he's not bullshit. That's the first and only thing he said about that place was, he goes, how does anyone know if they smell?
What's funny, though, is you must acclimate to it over time. It's like...
Maybe your perfume smells nasty to them.
Yeah, you acclimate to the smell. It's like they're probably thinking, this stinky white person, man, she smells.
Like a dog sniffs another dog's ass because they like to smell his shit. Yeah. Maybe they like that body odor smell.
When you're born with it, you don't even think it's wrong. It's just what you're used to smelling.
It's the new fragrance by Calvin Stein.
Yeah.
It's called B.O.
It's called Indian Summer.
It's called B.O. by Calvin Stein.
That's not funny, man. We're just being racist now.
You gotta use body odor fucking deodorant when you go there so you fit in.
That's a good idea.
Don't tell me you smell funny. You fit right in.
Yeah.
We were getting nauseous of the smell of your cologne.
Of your deodorant. It was making my eyes water.
Your deodorant is stinking the room. For crying out loud. Put some of this B.O. on.
You have to spray some B.O. deodorant on.
Oh, shit.
That's wrong.
If you're given, the Lord loves you. Notice the plate is going around.
I want it to be thousands, though.
The Lord deserves a Bentley, and he wants me to drive it.
We should do a religious radio show, and we'd have all kinds of fanatics probably listening to us.
I don't know what we should do, man. We need to do something different. I think I'll pass out some T-shirts. I'll be like, hey, man, this dude dropped me off all these T-shirts.
We should put our pictures in there and our names and just promote ourselves as real people.
No, I'm gonna wear makeup like Kiss.
There you go.
And like, what's that? The Insane Clown Posse. You don't know what those guys look like.
You sure?
Wouldn't that be cool? You're like fucking. You have your own makeup.
Let's do it. We'll do makeup faces.
How long is it taking?
That's a good idea. And then I'll put our pictures on with makeup faces.
Hey, how long did it take before? I think Alice Cooper, he was like up and down with it. Like he didn't hide behind the makeup.
No, it was more like
a show. But Kiss hid for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna say they made it a couple of years before someone found them. Nowadays they find you quick.
Yeah, it's tough to hide nowadays.
I don't know. Right?
Yeah.
So you just wear the makeup all the time. Then eventually, when you're in public, people will know who you are by the makeup.
That'll be a problem. There'll be people copycatting you.
Yeah, they'll say, "Is it really you?" You'll be like, "No, I'm just pretending I'm."
We'll be the makeup face radios.
Hey,
I can't. My wife listens to me
for Halloween.
My wife listened to the show the other day. And she goes, about me, she goes, you don't even sound like you look like. She goes, you sound like some fat dude. That's what she said about me.
Some fat dude?
I go, isn't it funny? I'm like the opposite of what I sound like. She goes, I pictured some bearded fat dude. I was like, dude, that's weird. It's funny how you don't. It's like, you remember watching the show, or listening to the show, Jonathan Brandmeier in Chicago?
Yeah. And then when you finally saw him, you still can't wrap your mind around what he looks like.
Not only that, what about remember his partner? What was his partner's name?
I don't know.
When I saw that dude, I was like, he was this skinny, bald-haired, weird-looking dude, and he had this really deep voice. When I saw him, I was like, holy shit, that is not what I pictured at all. I mean, he looked absolutely nothing like he sounded.
I probably sound like I have long blonde hair.
Yeah.
Like I'm wearing a tie-dye or a concert t-shirt.
Do you sound like you have any hair?
Yeah. I sound like a hippie, like a burnout.
Like a burnout, yeah.
Yeah, like a dude who would have real long hair and he smokes weed all the time, has a fucking concert shirt and holy jeans.
Yeah.
Wearing some fucking Converse All-Stars.
Dude, that sounds like the 80s right there.
Right? And if people saw me, they'd be like, I can't fucking believe that's what
you look like.
You really look?
I know, you don't sound
like. You're a
like.
little white. You look like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, you're actually skinny. She's like, you sound like a fat bearded dude. That's what she told me.
I thought you were like a blonde carrot top.
I wish I was a fat bearded dude just for one day.
Just pretend to be one.
Wouldn't that be funny if you could shapeshift into something kind of like
Let's pretend to be a different person every day. At least for like 2 minutes. I'm going to be Bill Cosby today.
You're going to be Bill Cosby? You're going to rattle some chains around? They're putting him in a cell by himself. I can see that. I mean, can you imagine being in the cell with Bill Cosby? You'd be like, hey, do that Superman routine you used to do.
Right. That's what I said. He'll probably have to do some stand-up. It's like to keep him from getting his ass kicked.
I used to listen to his album when I was a kid over and over. I wish I even had a copy of that album. It's probably worth money.
What amazes me about Bill Cosby, even though he is a dorky son of a bitch, why did he have to use pills? He probably could have got thousands of bitches without any problem at all.
He could have.
Something was wrong with his brain where he wanted a woman he couldn't have. Especially when you could have thousands, which ones can't you have?
It's just the way he wanted them. It was like his thing, you know? It's kind of like the skinny dude who's always with a fat dude and gets upset when she loses weight. It's like, that's upset. That's weird. It's like she goes on a diet and he's pissed.
He should go on a diet. He should have known right then.
It's like a fetish. Is that what it's called? My fetish is I just like regular chicks. That's my with regular normal sex. It's a weird fetish nowadays to have that. I got this fetish where I do the mission style every time.
At least for a minute.
I start out there.
I'm a mission man. No, it couldn't possibly be me.
The chick's like, dude, this is weird.
Yeah, I like to look her in the eye. You better have some Banaka. Remember that shit? What happened to that? What was in Banaka?
What kind of weirdo are you that you're just having regular sex? That's what she says to you.
Bro, what was in Banaka where they quit making it? Yeah. Was it the propellant?
It's probably eating away the ozone layer.
You're probably spraying some fucking whatever. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Take a quick spray.
I never see that anymore.
Lip lock. Something was wrong with it, obviously.
Yeah, it seems like that'd be popular.
That's why they got rid of the pudding pops.
Well, people quit communicating in real life now. They just communicate through text and through chat rooms, so they don't really need it.
They should make like a breath mint.
Breath mint. Yeah, breath mint for chat rooms. Yeah, this world's gone crazy. My friend goes online now on Facebook and he starts yelling at everybody for their political views on Facebook. Stop arguing about Kavanaugh. It's upsetting me. I'm going to start unfriending people, he put.
Whatever. Now some other chick came out and said, I mean, that's...
Yeah.
They're just going to drag him under the bus with that shit.
Yeah, I don't even know what to believe anymore. I don't believe anybody.
It's so easy now to do that.
Yeah.
To come out. Years ago, you would have never heard from this lady. What would she have done? Called the newspaper and seen if they did an article? Or
Yeah. By the time they printed the article, the whole thing would be over.
Yeah.
You know?
Shit's too fast now. It got way too fast.
It's fast. It can't get any faster. I mean, I don't see how it could get faster.
It's going to get faster.
It has to.
They're going to have a barcode. They're just going to scan you in the bar, and it's going to do a background check.
Instantly.
The chick's going to decide whether it wants to fuck you or not just because you have a history. Whether your history is true or not, you may have got convicted for something you didn't do. But in a drop of a fucking dime, you're off the list. Because the fucked up system has you in a file cabinet somewhere for some jackass shit you never even fucking did, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
if you don't lay low nowadays, if you don't lay low and just beat your meat, you might as well just fucking throw in the towel. Because in 10 years from now, you ain't going to be able to do shit. Because they're already got you on fucking speed dial fucking background check, whether you did it or not.
Yeah.
And all your family members. Well, he's clean, but his brother's a dick fuck.
Yeah, you don't even know who to believe. I mean, I don't believe him or I don't believe the women. I don't believe either of them.
The best thing that could ever possibly happen to this world is the internet, and all the information on the internet just get erased overnight.
Yeah. Just accidentally someone trips over the cord and just
You know how much bullshit has come about because of the internet? We're talking divorces, sexual pictures, people getting arrested for looking at pornos.
Oh, yeah. People that would have never been involved in porn at all because they wouldn't have been able to get access to it.
Identity theft by the billions of dollars because of the fucking internet.
Yeah.
False accusations. People who threaten people on the internet and get put in jail for threatening people on the internet. I mean, the internet is nothing but a fucking
election manipulations that have happened. All these elections that have been manipulated.
The worst possible thing that ever could have happened to society was the fucking internet, dude.
Oh, I agree.
Really,
it wrecked society.
There's not a single thing that's even close to being able to destroy so many lives in so many different ways.
Yeah, I agree.
There's one thing, the internet. And now what do? We cram it down our kid's throat at 2 years old.
Yeah, You'd be better off just letting your kid live their life a while before they even experience it. But the problem is they become socially inept then.
You can't not let your kid have the internet at 2, because by the time they're in kindergarten, I'm pretty sure in 3 years from now, every fucking thing in kindergarten is going to be on some kind of computer or laptop or whatever.
Yeah.
Some kind of memory drive. It won't be long before you plug your ass in. You'll have a cord coming out of your asshole, and you plug it in the wall, and it's going to fucking charge your fucking brain.
I need one of them. I need some of them virtual reality glasses that you wear, and I just need to get out of this reality for a while. I need to get into a new reality.
The best thing you could ever do is never do the internet.
Yeah.
Never do none. Erase all this paperwork.
I should do it. I should just get myself off of all. I can't because I got to do the radio show. I wanted to get. I can't. You're right.
It's impossible nowadays.
Yeah.
One way or other, you're gonna need it. Because when you get old and you don't want to drive, and by then they'll have the autonomous cars everywhere, you're going to be ordering one of those fuckers with your jitterbug.
Yeah. I'll have a robot taking care of me, that'll be jerking me off. It's like, you set your robot to jerk off mode.
I'll have a robot that has 6 arms. Cooking dinner while it's jacking me off. It could be on my computer doing my taxes, cooking dinner, and jacking me off. Wait, there's 2 more hands. There's 2 more hands.
Yeah.
Wait, what else could it?
I don't know, man.
It's got 2 more hands.
Yeah, we're headed down a dangerous road.
The thing is, in our lifetime, we probably won't see the real bad shit, but it could get real fucking bad.
At the very end of our life, it's going to get real ugly. But then our kids are going to have to live with all that. We kind of created it all because our generation kind of built it all.
You know who Governor Hippenluger is, or Hippenruger?
Yeah.
He's the governor of Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever said it right, and I've said it 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
I say it different every time. He's got one of the names you could say, but people still know who you're talking about. You didn't even say their name right.
Yeah. He's got a name so unique.
They were talking on the news about him running for president, dude. They got it on the down low right now. He's getting ready to go on the road and campaign for Republicans or some shit.
Huh.
Imagine if he became president and made weed legal in the whole fucking country. Forget about you guys.
Colorado. It's Hickenlooper.
Anyway, Colorado has, I'm pretty close to the numbers. I'm not exactly. They have like a $680 million surplus.
He's a Democrat.
Okay, and by the first of the year, they're supposed to exceed a $800 million surplus.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to jump on the bandwagon, these poor fucking states, man. Come on. Half their people are getting high anyway. There's more money in selling weed than putting people in prison for weed, it turns out, as far as that's that. So now these governors are starting to think, these prisons ain't giving me near. There's a surplus of cash. I'm like, really? I could see a couple potholes that could use some filling.
You know what? You should save that money because you always think they need to.
They're saving it.
Save it.
And that's what they were saying. The reason we have a surplus is because they're trying to save it. And they have gotten a little bit behind on sidewalks and shit like that.
Yeah, save the money.
They're smart. They're like, fuck it. Who cares about the sidewalks?
Look, the U.S. government had a surplus in like 1999, and look, we're in the hole now. How many years later?
Right.
It's like it don't take long.
Surplus.
It don't take long before that surplus becomes a deficit.
There's so much weed. That's why they're making it's all that came from weed, you know it did, or they'd be behind. Because where are they getting all this fucking tax money from? From selling snowboards? Come on, dude. Everyone here already has a snowboard.
Don't talk about weed, dude. I'm gonna have a drink, I think.
Well, you know what? Check this out. If it was legal and I don't even think they drug test here, dude. I mean, some people say they've been drug tested, but there's a lot of places are really relaxed about it because if
They would have no employees. They'd have no employees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like having a beer because it's legal. So it's kind of like,
yeah,
there's some real still stiff-nosed fucking old, probably silver-haired fucks that care. But everyone else really doesn't give a shit. You go in a dispensary, man, you see people like our parents' age that are in there buying weed, like with their kids.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like, he's trying to explain to the mom. And then you'll see like an old bat in there by herself just buying up fucking $100 for the shit. She smoked weed in the 60s. She's probably out like, here smoking weed.
You're bringing your old grandma in there and showing her how to buy weed.
Right.
Grandma, let's go to the dispensary. Our grandma, you know how cool our grandma was? Like, took us to rated R movies and shit. She would try to take us to the dispensary if we asked her.
Don't even tell her what it is.
We'd be like, Grandma, can we go to the dispensary?
Good door.
She'd be like, yeah, my angels, I'll take you. That's what she'd be like.
You're like, Grandma, look, they have tea. Why don't you get some?
Let's get a little bag of this.
It's called sleepy time tea.
Our dad used to say it was a Turkish cigarette. That's what he used to tell her. When he'd be smoking it at the table. Right. She goes, why does that smell? It's a Turkish cigarette. I get them right from Turkey. That's what he'd tell her. And Helen goes, you're smoking reefer. She would smoke it, though. Like, she'd sit down and take a couple puffs off it. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, she was fucking something else. I could still remember the smell of them greenhouses she used to take us in.
Oh, yeah.
Love that smell. I don't know if it's fertilizer or the flowers, or whatever that smell was.
Yeah.
Super high nitrate level.
She took us all over the place, man. She was fun. She was game for anything, too, just about.
I'd love to have a little greenhouse, like, right off my bedroom with a little pond or a waterfall.
Oh, yeah.
I love that smell of them plants.
Yeah.
I'm not talking weed, because I wouldn't even grow weed. It's cheaper to buy it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to grow the quality that... It's like a science experiment.
It's not worth it. Even the electric bill wouldn't even be worth it. By the time you hooked up a whole grow,
yeah,
and you're taking a chance of growing some mediocre fucking weed, by the time you pay for everything,
yeah,
you aren't even saving any money. You're better off just buying a bulk of some shake. That's the cheap shit. You can buy an ounce for like $40 a shake.
Yeah, that shit's just as good.
It's better than the shit you just grew.
Yeah.
And most of these people are like, I don't want to shake. What do? They buy buds, and what do they do when they
break it up? They buy a grinder and grind it up into shake.
Dumbass motherfucker, dude. It's better because it's buds. No, it ain't. The shake, if you think about it, the shake is all the crystals that fell out of them buds in the bottom.
Yeah, it's a misnomer.
Powder. If you can really tell the difference, you're an asshole.
Yeah. You're like a snob.
Like, oh, this weed is not quite as potent. It's like, I just want to, when people say that, I want to punch them in the face.
Yeah,
what are they? What kind of weed you got? I'm like, well, marijuana weed? And they're like, well, I got supersonic, kick in the ball, Bruce Banner. I'm like, who gives a shit, dude? I didn't even look at the name of the shit. You know what I looked at? The percentage of THC.
For the money. Percentage for the money.
Bruce Banner's the best. Yeah, you know what? For an ounce of Bruce Banner, it's probably about $265, $270. And an ounce of regular shit is $45. Do the math here. I could smoke like 4 joints to your one hit, price-wise.
To your one hit. But you only need that one hit, though.
And but you can't even really tell that. Okay, so you pack a bowl. And you're fucking stoned out. Took 3 hits.
I only take 1 hit now and then anyway. When I smoked it, it's not like I was getting ripped all day.
Dude, if you had this shit, 1 hit of this, you'd be like.
Yeah. Well, now because I've been quitting for so long, I do one hit. I remember. I know I'm gonna be flipping out. Probably have an anxiety attack.
Why don't you just move down there and get a job at a dispensary?
That's a good idea.
And you don't have to worry about quitting. Because all of them dudes get high. They all say, I can't get high during work, but as soon as I get out of here, I got me a big mama. They're all talking about it.
They can't get high at work?
Not at work, or they're
Why?
not supposed to before work.
At a dispensary?
Yep, you're not supposed to be high at the dispensary, but you know those fuckers are. But what are they going to do?
That's stupid.
Listen, they're high, dude. They're probably eating edibles because they probably get a discount and all kinds of shit. So if they ain't smoking it during the day, they chomped on a brownie at lunch.
Yeah, but that's a bunch of horse shit.
The thing is this. They don't drug test you. They know everyone gets high that works there. So,
yeah.
I mean, what are they going to do? Just stop you during the day and go, come here and pee. I think you're high. You're like, oh, no, that's just me, man.
That's what my pee looks like all the time.
No, you're like.
They don't even have to test it. They just look at it.
Just act high when you're not. So
just hold it up to the light. You're like, fuck, dude. I don't even need to test this shit. It's fucking green.
Everyone there gets high, dude. Everyone.
That's fucked up.